Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the New England Patriots. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be back alongside you. And I'll tell you what, yes, it's just week 2 of the preseason, but now they've got one game under their belts, and a lot of guys trying to prove some stuff down on the field here today.
Not only that, these coaches like to win. And I used to think it really didn't matter who won in the preseason. Then I watched some of those shows that the NFL does, and you see the coaches in preseason after a loss jumping all over their guys. So I learned one valuable lesson. Wins and losses count no matter what time of year it is.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they're led out by a guy who learned from one of the great ones in his first few years in Tom Brady. This is Jimmy Garoppolo.
When you're a backup to one of the all-time great players, if you don't spend time picking that guy's brain or just watching and observing how he does things to increase your game, then you've wasted that time. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is that type of a player. I think those lessons learned have a chance to transmit themselves very well.
Here we go. 180! You must be dreaming. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 4 down.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
We want it. Come to my way.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Here we go, here we go.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Joejuan Williams, the rookie Vandy product, there to bat it away. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return, and the Patriots take over. So here come the Patriots now on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
A loss of 2 there, second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. They run with Howard, and they'll get him down right around the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Matt Patricia here on fourth down, sending out the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
That good for 19 and a first down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Michelle. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. They're going to look to throw. Rolling to his right. And he'll get that to Michelle, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now the try here for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Sony Michel's touchdown scamper that polished the drive off. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The San Francisco Go offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
He finds his man Johnson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This will be fielded at the 17. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Such an impressive punt return, 83 yards. And the Patriots are able to strike quickly for 6.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach. But it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
The extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Play action. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop me.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this 2nd quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you're guaranteed he'll do that going forward as well, because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Sony Michel ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
It's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Garoppolo now. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. To throw is Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Stidham escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch 54. Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st down, Stidham flush to his right. Gets this into the hands of N'Keal Harry. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, D. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Ready?
Stidham 1st down in the red zone. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this one is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So a capper there to a pretty good 1st half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And the 49er hands team does its job. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started, as we normally do, on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead.
And talk about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage. Advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
A try here for the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So he takes it from 2 yards deep all the way down the field into the other end zone. Add it all up, a 102-yard return on the kickoff. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Looking middle, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. And partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone. Center.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A pretty good looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I got you.
They'll keep it on the ground. Lockhart, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
54, right there. 54, Mike.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Eluding the pressure right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Philip Dorsett, 46 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken short. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Watt. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Fielded at the 20. And there he goes again. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, what a game for him. He hits for the return cycle, so to speak. He had the kick return. Now the harder part just got the punt return for a touchdown.
And I would imagine that the special teams coach, as the ball left the punter's foot, he was thinking, should have kicked away from him.
Yeah.
Should have kicked away from him. He's in a groove, and sometimes you hit those grooves or those zones in a game, and he's in one now. He's in perfect with his teammates blocking, and he knows how to find the end zone.
Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken very short. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter gets to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
To throw on 2nd down. Watt toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
So now here in the 2nd week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson, and he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports.
Let's go. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go. Record.
Go.
On 1st down, Watt. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they've put it all together. And I can tell you, I am beyond impressed.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Target.
Fire.
On third down, Lockhart. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Throwing again. Watt. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Taking it about the 36. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Patriots will have great starting position as they take over 1st and 10. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance. Where they took control of this game. How they've managed to keep control of this game. And then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. There he goes, right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. A great effort there. Ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive. Watt over the middle, complete. It's Lane. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Watt. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Johnson. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Ready.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Two-jet bomber. Hey, let's go.
Operating from the gun. Watt. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that... a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their 2nd meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
They had 3 yards on 1st down, just 1 yard there. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down.
Get it.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. On the move to his left. And able to find Dorsett. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Steps away to the goal line, but it's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
They come up in an offset eye. An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal.
Just letting my equipment charge from last night.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
And on 2nd and goal, they decide to throw it again, and this result is even worse. They take a sack. On 1st down, it was simply an incomplete pass.
Mountain Girl, I
Not
said,
a good first 2 plays.
good morning, good afternoon, hello, what's up? Yeah, whoop-a-woo.
They're back at the 8 now. 3rd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual
it.
guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Looking to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And the 49er hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.